Hey guys, this is Rob here at SH2. We're here today with Zach. We're going to talk about how you got started in this business. Any questions, we can ask you. We're going to try to here.
Yeah, this is the guy with the red dump truck that we showed you putting those muffler hangers and stuff on the other day. If you ain't checked out that video, go check out that video because this dump truck is awesome.
Always remember, guys, go in, like, and subscribe. Most definitely hit that like button. Really helps us a lot. Can use all the help we can get. Zach, are you a first generation, second generation, third?
Guess I'll be second generation.
Second generation of truck driving or coal mining or
Coal mining. Well, coal mining. I'll probably be fourth or fifth generation.
family of coal miners.
Yeah.
So you branched out from coal mining to truck driving.
Yeah, truck driving it all started. When I was a little bitty kid. About 5, 6 years old, and it was my dad. He owned the trucking side of a sawmill that my uncle owned. So that's kind of how trucking got in my blood, and then he got sick, and everything, and it was kind of hard to keep the trucks running, so we had to sell out. So probably about, in my teenager years and everything, I just missed it. I missed being around it, and I seen trucks, and every time I seen a truck go down the road, it give you chills.
Yeah.
So. Especially a stretched out truck and hearing that cat motor, and they ain't nothing like it.
Ain't nothing like it, are they?
Ain't nothing like it. And so about my senior year in high school, I decided to get homeschooled, and that way I could go to work, a lot quicker. So I went to work, and I went to work for a coal tipple, and I got to load coal there, so they trained me up to load coal, which I knew how to run equipment. Dad and my papa, they taught me how to run equipment in the early years, and so when I started loading coal, I seen all of your Buck Massey trucks, your Jamie Walker, Billy Walker, all them guys. They have
nice
beautiful rides, and every time one of them come in, it's give me chills, but. That's kind of
where you got started.
That's kind of when I got started. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna work. I don't care how long it takes me to
get there.
To get there, I'm still getting there, but I'm there. I'm closer anyway.
You gotta have a start, son. If you don't start, you're never gonna get done.
That's right. That's right.
See, you brought some pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, this was.
Oh, that's a good looking truck.
W900, 550 cat, 18 speed.
Well, that's a nice
That's
ride.
the only original picture that I have of it.
Was that you with it when you was a little boy?
This is me. That's kind of when it all started. I was a little bit younger than that, but Dad, he would be going. He'd wake up about 3 o'clock, take a load out in the mornings, and he'd try to sneak out, and I'd be at the door waiting on him.
Yeah.
He'd say, "What are you doing up?" "I'm ready to go trucking, Dad."
There you go.
That's my cousin right there, sitting in it.
Yeah.
He used to do a lot of work on there. He was a polished guy. We called him Fonzarelli. That was his nickname, the handle. So.
Yeah. We're gonna get my bifocals on. Yeah, can see better. Good looking ride.
I miss that truck. He sold it to somebody in, I believe it was in Monticello, and he made a tri-axle truck out of it. And I've dreamed about that truck. I miss that truck. Actually, a while back, I tried to call to see where it was at, see if it was on the road. Might be in a junkyard. It might be in a show garage. I don't know.
No, never know.
But if anybody has that truck out there,
If you know where that truck's at, fellas, you might holler at us. This boy will really like to try to find it.
Sure would like to see it.
That bunk, we
If I
got
had
a
to
bunk
fly out
just like it
somewhere,
down there.
I'd go fly to see it.
You got a
That's
bunk
what it
just
looked
like
like.
it. We was talking about it. He was.
If you noticed here, it was a tandem there. Here it's a triaxle.
Yeah.
So they took the toolbox off here and added the triaxle and the big fenders, polished the tanks, stepped out more. This is kind of when they first got it. When they got done with it, it was kind of like this.
Made a pretty truck even prettier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that thing's pretty.
Yeah, it's
Goes
good.
back to the good old days. There's probably the prettiest truck I thought he ever had.
Oh Lord, surely not a Mack. You don't think it's
I
the
love
prettiest?
it, man. I love our model now. He built that truck for me. He already owned the truck, and he decided to completely do a frame off restoration on that truck.
Our model.
Probably had it maybe a month or two, and somebody stole it. And the only thing we got back was the cab. You know, but we still got an R model, but that's about the only truck, you know, from I'd say probably from I was 10 years old to, you know, up into my teenager years, you know, my high school years. That the only truck I was able to be around,
Yeah.
and actually get in and
Well,
drive down the road, and was an R model. So
let me see the rest of them pictures. I love pictures.
here's some bigger ones. That's back in there.
You in them pictures?
I'm not in those pictures. That's before my time, but
Well, that's a big job there. Somebody was doing.
yeah, that was one of my dad's
Your
jobs.
dad's job. Is that when he done that job over at Barwell, putting the Walmart and them in? Kind of over in there?
No, that was up behind, kind of in behind Walmart a little ways. They was actually stripping a pit of coal there.
Some neat pictures. Who's this cat?
That was his brother.
They're doing a big job, wasn't it? A lot of dirt moving.
Yeah, he was when he had his coal company. It was I think he was number.
Of course, when you work hard, you get to fish hard.
Oh,
boys. Look
yeah.
at that.
yeah,
That's your dad.
yeah,
there.
that's my old man there.
Yeah.
That's my hero. My old man is.
Yeah, that usually most of them boys.
There's some pictures. It's just kind of just some jobs and some equipment that we still have today. They're probably all back in the range from the 1960s to the 1980s. These pictures do.
Moved a lot of dirt in his life, ain't he?
Yeah, that was a pond job that he was building. That's
There's 3 kids on that dozer with him.
yeah, that's my brother and my sister and my cousin on there with my papa.
That's your papa.
That's my papa.
These pictures are probably from the 60s.
Yeah, that's a lot of people sees that on the
Old Polaroid.
Mm-hmm.
that machine on YouTube, and pictures of it of Peabody.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
He go up to Peabody and work at.
he
Big
didn't work that. He used to be shovel man for a coal company probably back in the 50s and 60s. So him and the boss went out there to kind of look
Peabody.
around. That's out in
Western part of Kentucky. I've seen it work.
Muhlenberg.
Muhlenberg. The WK runs through there. You used to be able to see that from the WK when I started trucking. That was in the 80s. I don't know when this picture was took.
That machine was so big they had to bury it.
It's still out there.
Yep.
I wanted to go cut it up. Nobody let me.
Yeah. Bring some pretty good money with it.
I think they actually did cut it up. I
Yeah.
think it's dug up now and gone.
It may be.
When scrap got up so high, I think some people went out there and managed to get that done. I
Can't say
think-
I blame them.
I don't know that to be for sure, but I've heard that. When scrap got $400 a ton, there's a lot of things around this neck of the woods got cut up. I brought a 992 loader over here, unloaded it off the truck, drove it around, and drove it over to the torches and cut her up. 992.
Yeah. It's kind of sad in a way, but
Yeah.
you know.
I couldn't tell you how many cab overs I cut up. I probably, if everybody knowed how many cab overs I cut up, they'd put me on America's Most Wanted. I cut a bunch. Might build a nice barn.
Yeah, that's down on
Look at that
the
barn.
farm there.
Look how they done the top up here.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Yeah,
It's
man.
a nice detail.
It looked like that
These
now.
here had Detroits
Yeah.
in them.
Those are tough old trucks.
Yeah,
they right there
man.
are.
When scrap was up high, I tried to buy some of them to cut up. I mean, if I could come to the right price.
They're tough now.
They was running trucks.
That was probably his toughest trucks that he had back when when he was in the coal business. So
What's the $5 for?
it's just something I kept. It was
We won't ever be broke.
that was when I first started coal mining. I think it was my first day. I went to a little store to get a biscuit that morning, and they handed me that $5 back for change back, but it had coal keeps the lights on, so it must be a sign.
Yeah. Look at the barn there. Courtney, got a picture of it.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's a nice looking barn. Here's where they was working on 25 over at Walmart and them, wasn't
Yeah, that's actually where the Wendy's set.
Wendy's
sits
sitting
at
at?
there, and Best Western,
it? All that.
and all those
Down
places.
from Walmart and Bartle.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
That's my brother. Always jealous of my brother because he got to grow up, and go on these strip jobs, surface coal mines with my dad.
Yeah.
And
Was he
I
just a
never
little
did,
older?
but yeah. So I was always jealous of him. Dad would ask, he'd say, "Son, you ready to go to the park today? Play around on the playground?"
No, you want to go to the jobs.
I wanted to go to the jobs. I wanted to go to the trucking, or he'd say, "Well, I do got to go to Martin's Peterbilt. You want to go to Martin's
Yeah.
with me?" "Oh yeah, Dad,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Let's
They
go."
always had fresh donuts when I was a kid. Martin's did. Love that.
And I still love going into Martin's too.
Mm-hmm.
It's they got the same counter
Yeah.
in there from whenever I was a kid, so it's pretty neat. Never gets old.
See, that ain't the counter I growed up with.
Yeah.
The counter I growed up with was over at the old place. You don't even probably remember where it was, but it was on over in town there more. That's your mom and dad?
That's my mom and dad.
That's very interesting.
I'm lucky to have my dad. He's had cancer twice. He's had 41 bone marrow biopsies. Just got over leukemia there a while back. He's 71 years old. He's beat it twice, so that's another thing too. If y'all have a loved one that's sick or anything, you tell them to keep fighting, because they can fight it off. It kind of hits pretty hard with me.
Oh, yeah. That cancer's a terrible thing. Terrible thing.
And I watched him drive a truck, taking chemo treatments too. He's a tough outfit. He's tougher than me. I don't believe I could ever do that.
Yeah.
Most people can't. And some guys has got it in them and some don't. And, which I don't disrespect the ones that don't, because it's a tough disease.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep, that's the
just
truth.
tough.
But if some people can't fight it off, and they're in a better place. So that's what the loved ones got to look at too. There's no more suffering or anything. And but it's nothing but a thing.
It's the way life goes.
The way life goes. Life's tough.
How many years you been driving now?
I've been driving probably for maybe about 3 or 4 years. A lot of my experience come on I hauled a lot of coal with RD 800 Mac
On the job.
on a job.
That's good. That's good experience.
Yeah,
Well,
so
you
that's
got to know what weight feels like.
well, you don't have to have
CDLs,
CDLs too,
don't have to
really.
have CDLs when you're a kid, so that gets you. You know, as you get older, then you appreciate them jobs more because somebody had to take a chance with you with their piece of equipment.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
knew I didn't want to drive for somebody else. Really, I always wanted to do it myself.
And nothing wrong with that. I've always wanted that feeling myself. You know, I started out driving for myself, never did drive for nobody. I've never had a public job. That's
Always
my
worked
whole
for
life.
yourself.
I've always worked for myself.
Yeah.
You know. And, you know, some people say, "Well, I worked at McDonald's. I worked here, worked there." I ain't never had them experience. I've never done that.
Yeah, that's hard work too.
I've had a
Working
lot
with
of
the
different
Oh,
public.
I've worked work. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I just never had no desire, and I always got up every morning with the idea in my head I could figure out how to make $1 today.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
so. If we was building a barn, I can build a barn. If you want to work on trucks, I'll work on trucks. You want to dig concrete, pour concrete, I'll help pour concrete.
Yeah.
And blocks, I've done a little bit about everything. I've never worked none of it long, just a lot of it.
Yeah,
you know?
that's me. I never really found anything that I was really interested in. I built power lines. I poured concrete. I farmed.
Well, now, I only picked hay up one time. I was in that lower garage back there where the benders and stuff is. And there's an old man come down here and it was fixing to rain. He said, "Boys, I need help bad." He said, "My hay's gonna get wet and it's sitting in the field." He said, "I'll give you a penny a bale." Well, ain't none of us even worried about the money. Well, we went and picked up 200 something bales. Well, a penny a bale, that ain't $2. You know, we worked all day for $2. And when he unloaded us back out of here, I went back in the garage and that old man said, "Well, I'll come get you next time. And don't you worry about it, come pick me up, you know." But
Yeah.
I said, "This old garage is where I belong." And I never did go pick up no more hay. So, you know, I figured out I could work a lot better in that garage for $2 than I could out there for
Oh yeah.
picking hay. That's a job.
So when I was a lineman, I wasn't technically a lineman, you know, but I was on a crew that built power lines. I was kind of their ground hand, but equipment operated, you know, running equipment. That was the only thing I was ever good at. You know, driving a truck or running equipment. I ain't
You
good
enjoyed
enough at
this.
that. Well, yeah, that's probably a lot of it too. I didn't last long, you know. I was making really good money, and I just, you know, I got fired, and I said this is it. So I went back to a surface coal mine, and I was running their big loader up there, and I said this is where I belong. And even though it was a pay cut, it was the best thing that I ever could have done because I was able to start the business that I've always wanted to do. So,
Well, I'm sure had I ever, the only body I guess I ever come close to working for was a boy in London, Roy Lee Osborne. And I don't ever consider I worked for him, I just worked with him because he needed help and I needed to fiddle around a little bit, so I went up there and helped him a lot. I was up for Roy Lee's, and one day me and him was working, and I was trying to straighten something for a truck. He come by, he said, "Wait a minute, I'll help you with it." I said, "Okay." So I stopped, waited, and never did show back up. So I went on back to straightening. And went just a few minutes, he's over pecking on my shoulder. He said, "Well, wait a minute." He said, "I'll help you with it." So anyhow, while he was gone, I just loaded up my tools, thrown them back in the truck, and went home. And it wasn't long, the phone rung. "Where are you at?" I said, "Well, you just called me at home. Where do you think I'm at?"
yeah.
And he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I quit. I ain't helping." He said, "Why?" I said, "I was trying to straighten that. You done stopped me twice. And you gonna walk around on the telephone all day, and I'm gonna stand there and look at it." I said, you don't need me to work on it. Just do it yourself."
yeah. Yeah.
So anyhow, make a long story short, I went back up there and worked for him. I think I charged him another $2 on the hour to go up there and help him. So, and then on, he never would stop me when I was doing something. He left me alone.
Yeah.
So, It's funny, but that's about the only close up job I guess I ever had. But it wasn't really a job. I just done what I wanted to do, and he paid me for it. So.
I've worked for a rail company. Got laid off there the day before my 90 days was up, so I was like, well, this ain't a place worth going back to. Worked at a feed store. I was their feed bagger at Southern States. It's a pretty rough job. I mean, it's not, I've done worse, but it's not ideal, definitely.
Truck driving is hard work, but it makes you a different breed. It fits it in you. You just different.
Yeah, which I think a lot of people that like Tim Gentry and those guys, it's been in their blood.
I honestly think truck driving, you're born with the want. I don't think it's something you can just wake up one day and say, I'm gonna be a truck driver, and it comes to you. I just
Like
Yeah,
you were
I'm the
talking
same
earlier, you were talking about when you was a kid, where
it's-
you would identify the trucks and stuff. You had it in you when you were a kid. You were
Yeah,
interested in
I
it.
believe it's born in you, and it has to come out. I mean, it's just something that comes out.
I was on the interstate today and seen a Kenworth that had straight pipes on it, 6 or 7 inch straight pipes, but you could tell it was a cat motor, and I rolled the window down. I got up next to him. I rolled the window down.
Yeah, that's
They just give you that. It's still to this day. I mean, it's
Yeah, it could be pouring down the rain. You got the window down just enough to hear. Yeah, I know the feelings.
But guys that was like, well, I'm going to be a truck driver. They're not like that. I don't want to look at a truck. I hate waking up and going to work. Well, it ain't like that.
Well, you got to love when you drive 3 or 4 hours to go to a truck show and stay there all night, day, and way up into the night, and then drive back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
to look at them.
Yeah.
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 You take like Troy Massey. He comes all the way to Louisville. He lives in Texas.
Oh wow!
That ain't the first. I've met guys from Australia fly over here to go to the Louisville Truck Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it. I mean, what kind of love do you got for the truck to do that? And
Yeah.
I always loved trucks, never did like the big crowds.
Lee Norman, I think he's like that too.
Lee's always been around them.
Lee's got a good thing going on too with his business. He's got really nice trucks. He's got that chrome shop going on down there, 606 Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have the love for it to do that.
You got to have a love for trucks to be successful in it.
And you can tell if a guy loves his truck or if he don't too by how he takes care of it.
A lot. Makes a big difference.
Your dump truck's spotless.
That's something I love to do. I mean, that's my first dump truck, personally, that I've bought, and that's where I get my bread. So you got to take care of it.
Let's tell them how to get a hold of him if they need something moved around here locally. I don't think he travels all over the world with that little dump truck, but if they need anything hauled around here in Laurel County or Barble or Middlesboro or around here close that he might could do, how'd they get a hold of you?
I got a Facebook page. It's Cain Development LLC. My number's on there, or 606 627 0732 is my phone number. So you can get a hold of me that way. Another thing we're trying to get into the long hood Pete stuff on the hauling equipment, things like that. We'd like to get into doing low boy stuff. Maybe doing some cattle hauling. That's kind of runs in my blood. Hauling coal, cattle, and equipment. That's what we're striving for. So
Right now with the truck that you have, what kind of services do you offer?
we haul any gravel, landscape material, dirt. That's topsoil, that's screen topsoil. Whatever you want. I've literally had to tailgate off the truck and hauling logs with it, so
Yeah.
trying to make some money with it.
We here with Zach, and I wanted to thank him for being here today. And guys, if any of you guys wants to come and be on our show here, we're going to do this. Try to do it about every Wednesday or Thursday, and so or any day, any day that you down through here, or can come by and want to come and tell your story. Come tell your story with Rob. I'd sure appreciate it and like to do it. And
Bring
like
us
to
some pictures like
bring
that.
pictures.
Now, if I can do it, anybody can. This place is like family to me, so made me feel like family right away. So
Y'all try to make everybody feel like a family, and like I said, if you want to come by, tell your story with Rob, we'd appreciate it. Remember, subscribe and like. Appreciate you.